Howdy, folks. It is Tuesday, May 13th, and welcome back to another episode of TASB Talks, the podcast bringing you the latest happenings and insights into Texas public education. And I am joined once again by Docs Gonzalez, Division Director of TASB Government Relations. Docs, how are you?
Matt, all I can say is that once again keeps getting a little bit lower every time we do this show.
Yeah.
I think I need to bring someone else on.
We are almost at the end, though. We got T-minus 3 weeks until the end of session,
Yes.
unless there's a special knock on wood. But on that note, it's been a very busy week, and as I always say these days, but in particular, busy week on the pub ed side of things. I know last week there were some bills up in House Public Education Committee, and we just got a whole bunch of things happening. So what's the latest?
Yeah, well, so there was a very important deadline last night, and that was the last day for House committees to get bills out of their committees and into consideration for the full House. And so there was a lot of activity right up there to the end to get bills out and moving. And now that we're past that hump, we have a better idea of the universe that we're working with in terms of actual bills that are moving through the process. I always warn people that just because a bill didn't make it past that threshold doesn't mean it can't come back as an amendment on another bill or as part of maybe there's a Senate companion coming over from the Senate side. So, but it at least starts shrinking that universe of bills that we're watching. And so that makes our jobs a little easier, at least with regard to knowing what's out there and what's moving. We have another really big deadline coming up this coming week this week on Thursday. It is the last day that the House may vote bills out on second reading. So the way it works is the legislature, that one chamber, they'll hear a bill the first time, refer it to committee, and then when the committee kicks it back to the full chamber, they hear it a second time, vote on it, and then that's usually when they do amendments and stuff like that. And then they do a third reading, and then they vote it out, and it goes to the other side. So second reading is a very important milestone for most bills. And on Thursday, you will hear the collective sound of a lot of bills dying because they just it's impossible to get to all the bills that they have available to work on at that point. But we'll see. We'll see what that day looks like and what bills come in and out. But it was really interesting. Last night, they passed House Bill 4, which is an accountability reform bill, and that bill is by Chairman Brad Buckley. As he said yesterday, it gets rid of STAR to great applause from the members in the House. And
Well, the vote on that was almost unanimous, was it not? It was something like 143 to 1 or
yes,
something.
yeah, 143 to 1. And overall, it takes away the STAR, that 1 day, one time test, and it instead incorporates a through-year testing model. So think of what schools really do now is which they take a beginning of the year test, a middle of the year test, and an end of the year test, and they use that information to get real-time data on how their kids are doing and where they need to improve and what they need to work on throughout the year. So it does that. It reduces the tests required by the state to those required by the feds. So I think we're losing a couple of social studies tests is what it is. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's what it is. But schools can still give those tests if they would like to get information on how their kids are doing, but it wouldn't count towards state accountability. It does do several other things as amended on the floor last night. There were a few other bills that didn't quite make it out of the process, like I mentioned earlier. And so some of those found their way onto House Bill 4 in the form of amendments. So the bill, it was passed on second reading, so it has to go through one more vote, and then it'll go over to the Senate, and we'll see what the Senate thinks about that bill and whether they keep it intact or keep parts of it or how they feel. So that'll be an interesting bill to watch.
So House Bill 2, Chair Buckley's school finance bill, that passed out of the House, I want to say almost a month ago now. I might not be totally accurate on the day count, but somewhere around a month ago. We've been waiting on that. And do we have an update on when that could be considered in the Senate?
Well, we have rumors.
Rumors.
There's no posting, and I don't like to report on things that I don't know for sure. Because every Friday, I feel like for the past few weeks, it's been, okay, Tuesday, it's going to be up. Tuesday, it's going to be up. There are rumors that it will be up on Thursday. this Thursday. So today is Tuesday.
That'd
So
be
in
May
2 days.
15th.
But I have not seen a posting yet. There may be a posting later this afternoon, but
So don't quote us.
yeah.
It's a maybe.
Well,
Maybe.
I'm saying it's a rumor.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
a rumor.
rumor.
It's a rumor.
Until it's an official committee posting, I don't put too much faith in it. But I have heard that they are at, or at least very close to, finalizing a deal between the House and the Senate on that bill. Because as you remember, there was about $1.5 billion difference between the House version
Right.
and the Senate version of that bill. So they had to iron out exactly how they were going to, where they were going to find that money to take out of the bill. So we'll have to see. We don't know exactly what that compromise is going to look like. As we know, the House version had an increase to the basic allotment, while the Senate version had, the Senate's priorities were in teacher compensation. So Senate Bill 26 put that $4.85 billion that was available to use for public education towards compensation, whereas in the House they put that and a little bit more towards things like a basic allotment increase and an increase to the small and mid-sized school allotment. So your guess is as good as mine is where they end up on that.
We'll keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully that comes up soon. In the meantime, any other bills or things happening you want to kind of plug here before we go?
There's tons of bills moving through. There's a House bill bed hearing right now. I think just the thing to know is we'll see a lot more bills from the other chamber in committees now. So the House is considering Senate bills now. They won't be considering any more House bills because that deadline has passed. And the Senate is now really hearing a lot of House bills, and so we'll start seeing a lot more bills going on to the governor here soon.
And we'll look forward to following that. Docs, thanks as always for being here. We appreciate the time. And thank you, the listeners and the watchers, for tuning in. You can find us on Apple and Spotify and at Tasby News on YouTube. So thanks again, Docs.
Thanks, Matt.
And thank you all. And you have a good rest of your day. Take care.